spot. Atlanta Falcons at San Francisco 49ers. Falcons 6-7, 5-2 on the road. Niners 7-6, 2-4 at home. We're at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. 51 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 7 miles per hour. These Niners open up at -8. That -8 is taking 14 cents of action at Pinnacle. The other books have just straight up moved it to 9, and some of the dice game books have moved it to 9.5. This total opened up at 44.5. Now we see 46s, and Pinnacle has moved it to 46.5. When we go over to the cash flow in the spot, 3,972 tickets in, 75% of the tickets on the Niners, and 92% of the cash on the Niners. Big market move towards them. By the way, 53% tickets on the under, 97% cash on the under, and yet it's moving towards the over. Harold Williams says this 9 is too much. Falcons improved to 6-2 on the road this season. They're listed as 5-2 on the road, but they're 5-2 because they were the designated home team in London, England when they beat the Jets. They've been very good away from Atlanta. Matt Ryan, 19-28 for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Russell Gage caught 4 passes for 64 yards. Kyle Pitts caught 5 for 61. Cordell Patterson ran 16 times for 58 yards. Mike Davis ran 11 times for 44 yards. They didn't get a ton of pressure from their defense. They ended up with 1 sack and 4 quarterback hits, but they got the job done. Kyle Walker intercepted his boyhood idol Cam Newton, returned at 66 yards for a score. A.J. Terrell also had an interception. The Falcons are among 5 teams in the NFC tied at 6-7 and are in the wild card hunt, says the notes. But I don't believe that shit. Safety Eric Harris and linebacker Emmanuel Ellerbe both left in the third quarter and didn't return. Eric Harris left with a chest injury, and that turned out to be a torn pectoral. He's done for the year. Ellerbe has a knee injury, but that's not the problem. He's now on the COVID list. Dante Fowler, questionable with a calf injury. Safety Richie Gant and their linebacker Ogundeji were inactive and are listed as questionable this week. Niners coming off a 26-23 overtime victory at Cincinnati. Robbie Gould missed a 47-yard field goal with 4 seconds left in regulation. That would have won it. I wanted him to hit that field goal, but by him missing it, I ended up pushing the total at 49, and I still got the Niners cash. So it helped me out a lot. Jimmy G was 27-41 for 296 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. George Kittle, another monster game, 13 receptions for 151 yards and a touchdown. He has 6 touchdowns in the last 6 games. Brandon Ayuk, it looks like the patience with him is going to reward the Niners. 6 catches for 62 yards and the game-winning TD in overtime. Jeff Wilson ran 13 times for 56 yards. Azeez Al-Shaair had 11 tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack before leaving with an elbow injury in the third quarter, and he didn't return. The MRI on Monday, and I don't know what the information was. I don't know if you have that info, Bebsie. They had 5 sacks and 6 quarterback hits. Nick Bosa had 2 sacks. That's 14 sacks for Bosa on the year. And Robbie Gould can't be trusted. So you have Cannon in concussion, placed on the injured reserve with the concussion. You have Mosley placed on injured reserve with the ankle injury. We're waiting on the MRI for Azeez. You have Ambry Thomas with a head injury, so he's in concussion protocol. You have Fred Warner dealing with an ankle injury, who's expected to play against the Falcons. You have Dee Ford, who is not expected to return this season from the back injury, says Kyle Shanahan. And then Greenlaw, Dante Johnson, Maurice Hurst, and Elijah Mitchell inactive last week and questionable this week. Should the Niners be this big of a favorite, Bebsie, and are you betting this game?
No, I think it's too many points. A lot of it has to do with the injuries. A lot of it has to do with the Atlanta Falcons having they had their number the last time. The Niners, the year they went to the Super Bowl, they almost lost home field advantage by losing to a bad Atlanta Falcons team. Mind you, that was a brilliant last-second touchdown to Julio Jones, who's no longer there. But listen, the Atlanta Falcons, their best weapon is Kyle Pitts, and the Niners are absolutely dominant against tight ends. But with Azeez out, and I don't know the answer to that question either, if he's coming back or not, that is a big blow to that defense that's already super depleted in the secondary. I think it's just too many points. Now, they should be getting Mitchell back on offense, which will be a big lift to their run game. But listen, as much as Kittle is an absolute beast, He was limping around a lot last game. That's something else I'd like to keep my eye on. But I think the over is a potential look here. Again, that has a lot to do with how weak the Niners secondary is, and just the fact that they're going to have to put up a lot of points in this one, I think, to win it. So the over is a lean for me. The points is too many, so I would probably lean Atlanta to cover here.
Yeah, that does make sense. It does feel like too many points, and with the Niners being hammered the way they are, makes me want to take a step back. This is a twofold game for me now with futures. I mean, I wish I had a bet more just to make it interesting, but for whatever reason, I only bet $50 on that Niners conference and Super Bowl at 30-1, 60-1. But I have the Falcons under 7.5 wins at plus 105.
If the Niners had any corners, they would be dominant. They were all over Burrow, but their corners couldn't hold coverage for a couple of seconds ever. And I think that'll be a problem again. I mean, Matt Ryan's a good enough quarterback to exploit that again here.
Is this something that you want to bet?
I'm going to think about this. I think I'll probably end up moving on this over. I won't move on either side here, but yeah, the over I think is a real look.
And Dennis Garcia likes the over, and this market is moving quickly towards the over, and Pinnacle leading the way in that regard. They've moved it to 46.5. Okay, is this something you're going to sit on both side and total at this point?
Yeah, I'm not going to make any official plays here.